and watch out as I come through. Busting in your line, cracking helmets in. I bring the pain, so what you gon' do? Stand there and just get shook out ya. So clean out your locker, I'm out to get ya. Cause I just popped ya. You can't take the pressure. You might as well quit cause you just can't last. Madden 2000, put your face in the grass. And your pride in the dirt, so put on a skirt. If you come on the field and don't wanna get hurt, just bruise and beaten, all black and blue. And it's been like that since Madden 92.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. You with your host, Mr. Buccaneer Blake himself, coming straight from yesterday's game at the Buccaneer Stadium. I not only sit at home and watch these games, I go to these games. I go to a lot of away games. I think I'll be going to I am going to the Houston game and possibly Philadelphia. So I'm looking forward to giving you reports being there and not just from watching at home and the game experience. But I know a lot of people are pissed off about yesterday's loss to the Titans, the whole Jameis Winston versus Mariota thing. You know, even though they don't really play against each other, both on offense. But like I said, those two will always be compared because they were in together's draft, just like RG3 and Andrew Luck. But my experience at the game was pretty good. I mean, a lot of people there were from Florida State. You saw Florida State stuff all over the place. People had Winston jerseys. They had Florida State banners and all that stuff. So it was a pretty good experience for the overall. Even the Titans fans enjoyed it. Everybody had a pretty good time. I didn't have much to complain about, even with the fans, except for this Rob Ronas guy that was drunk and just kept standing in the aisle. I sit in the end zone, mostly where all the action was at, where we thought we had the safety. I sit in that end zone with the pirate ship. So let's just, I was going to talk about before the game, why couldn't we get Aldon Smith? I guess that question got answered. We did go for him, but I can see why we backed off or why he chose to go to Oakland. If you're going to give somebody that's not out of trouble but actually currently in trouble $8 million that constantly gets in trouble for 1 year and then he only plays 20 snaps, regardless of the fact, I'm glad they didn't give him $8 million. He can go to Oakland. Oakland always has cap problems for decisions like that, and they can keep having them. You can have him for $8 million. It would have been nice to see him out here, because I know he's got some relatives that I know out here. It would have been nice to see him, but not for $8 million. So now let's get to the ball game, the part you've been waiting for. Oh, where do I start? Well, watching the game, I kind of figured how the game was going to start. It was going to start by the double tight ends, leaving extra people in the block, trying to prevent pressure from getting to Winston. And I get all that, but I felt like it left a brace on his leg to play to where he needs to play. Unlike they played later on in the fourth quarter when he ran spread offense, where the blitz came that time and he found Austin Seferian-Jenkins open, and that's the play he scored on. He ran a spread offense where you got a great receiving back. Let me tell you, if y'all don't know about Charles Sims, if you're bored sitting on the toilet doing whatever, go to YouTube, look up Charles Sims of West Virginia. Look how good his hands is. Like a lot of people, you guys watched Dion Lewis out there in the Patriots. I like that guy coming out the backfield. He's a dangerous threat. Charles Sims can be that too. You see how agile he is before halftime when he caught the screen pass and he was juking and jiving downfield. Speaking of juking and jiving, I didn't think Winston could be that mobile as well, even though you kind of have to if your line's letting everybody through like an all-you-can-eat buffet and he's the main course of crab legs. Too soon? Just kidding. But back to what I was talking about originally, I'll ramble on stuff. So I don't write a script. I speak exactly how I feel. Let me get back, like I said about the game plan. I thought we played into Dick LeBeau's system. And I know, like Lovey says, it's just one game. You can prepare for a game, but then come into the game, you're not really prepared. I guess I get what that means. Because how many times you saw players come out their first year, people don't really have tape on them, you can't game plan for them, and they play well, and then the second year, everybody plays them a little bit different, they're not as successful. I get that. but it was just the way he was handled, the way how fast. Like if you guys are complaining about the pass rush this game, which I don't think anybody did, because if you noticed, all the passes were coming out so quickly that the rush didn't matter. Granted, you guys should have put some hands up once you learned that was what they were going to do, deflect a few passes, do the J.J. Swat style, possibly get a tip and a pick, or change things a little bit, because the run game wasn't really affecting it. It was just that read and throw like you saw earlier today with Teddy Bridgewater, where he threw it to the tight end coming across the mills. Same offense. And in cover two, that's where we got beat a lot last year. On the big play to Kendall Wright, I didn't know who it was originally because it was so wide open. I was frustrated. It was Quan Alexander. That's the difference between having like young players playing in these systems and giving up rookie mistakes. We had a lot of like young players playing, and Quan Alexander is a good player, but he's a little raw to playing it as well, and that was kind of showed it because on the play fake where they scored to go up 7-0, it was Quan Alexander that gave up his space. He was all the way at the line of scrimmage, hitting Bishop Shanky at the line of scrimmage while Kendall Wright's high-stepping his way to the end zone at full speed when he's catching the pass. Great play, great pass by Mariota, great catch, great play. I got to give props when props is due. I told you I'm a football player first and foremost. I was just they had great game plan we weren't ready for. I mean, a lot of the passes, that's what they were all quick passes. I think we should have made a little bit of adjustments, at halftime. And I think that fourth down play when we were down 7-21, we went for on the fourth down play. I think Jameis scrambled. Yeah, it was a bootleg. Jameis scrambled and got the first down. And I think the next series we went to the fourth down and one where Doug kind of stretched out. We thought he got the first, and they actually overruled and put it back, and we were short, way short than what it should have been. But it's just the story with the Bucs. Like, I honestly, for the longest, I don't really believe in conspiracy theories. I really don't believe in people set up things the way it sets up. Like you get calls or you get things put back. I really don't believe in that. I believe in two teams come out, somebody has better game plan, and the better man wins. That's what I want. I mean, that's what I do believe, and I want to truly believe that. But being like these past couple of years, when the truth starts coming to light, that there's been a lot of underlining skullduggery with the Patriots, and I'm sure they're not the only team that's done that. Absolutely, I'll stand by you with that, Patriots fans. When you say we're not the only team that does that, I agree. The Atlanta got caught doing false sound noise, and I believe they mic'd the room one time. It was either them or New Orleans had a room mic'd. And I think there's other stuff that goes on like that. But you can't support cheating and saying, like I always mess with this guy. I know this guy, he's a cool dude, he's a Patriots fan. But he always likes to bring up, the Patriots aren't the only team that's cheated over history. I'm like, so basically what you're saying is you're satisfied with cheating. Cheating's okay. Has this country gotten to that point that you'll settle for that because to satisfy yourself winning a championship or winning, it's okay to cheat? What's the Patriots fans saying? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I mean, like, your team won or whatever, but you can't stand by that, man. Like I said, the next time you get cheated, I want you to say that same line. When you get cheated out of something, or somebody you know gets cheated out of something, I want you to say that as well. Like I said, I'll ramble. The penalties, like what I was previously saying about I don't believe in conspiracy theories and things happening. It seems every time we get something going, there's always some type of penalty, and sometimes it's some exotic penalty that we get called for. When we're having momentum, it'll be a holding penalty. To go up 21 when the game was already over, 21-14, you call Vincent Jackson on a phantom offensive pass interference penalty. Like, what kind of shit is that? It reminds me of the Josh Freeman game where Kellen Winslow got called for an offensive penalty when the defender was literally grabbing his arms and holding them down, and he fights and still gets his hands up and makes a catch, and you call him for an offensive penalty. That penalty cost us because we didn't go to the playoffs that year because we went 10-6, which would have been 11-5 and would have got in under the Josh Freeman era. He probably would have still been on his team if that call didn't happen. A lot of people expected, from the 10-6 season, 4,000 yards and the 25 TDs and the 6 interceptions, they thought coming into the next year that he would have played better. And I know Josh personally, and the people that know me out here, we were good friends. And if Josh, you see this, I still support you. I knew about the Howard Ave stuff and all that. And that's none of my business, man. And I don't judge you for it. I've got friends and relatives that do that stuff as well. It's their life. I don't judge you for it. We talked about. I think if we come out next week, I think we should try to stick to the run game. I think we should try to go to things that Jameis is familiar with. I think we should go back to the spread. Austin Jenkins is excellent at playing outside or playing coming from hand in the ground. He can do both. Like I said, you got Doug Martin's got pretty decent hands. Charles Sims got excellent hands. I'm telling you, Charles Sims has hands you can rely on. We got to use players to the strength. We got to use players and use plays that will help us win. Don't be afraid to take risks. I'm not talking about doing no double reverse passes and all this type of crazy shit. I'm just talking about putting people in positions to be successful. Like if you watch the game again, if you get a chance to watch it at the end of the spread and see the things we were doing, dinking and dunking, instead of, if you're not getting these handoffs, then maybe these passes to the back for 5 yards, they're just extending handoffs and they're getting runs. Like you saw with the 49ers tonight against the Vikings. A lot of the passes up the back, the swings out with the wide receivers. You break a first tackle, you get a first down, you get 7 yards, you get 8 yards. Now you're looking at 2nd and 3rd or a 2nd and 2 or a 3rd and 3 or a 3rd and 1. It's all about numbers games. Football isn't just about brawn, it's about numbers games. And that plays into it. I know I talk a little bit too much philosophy and numbers sometimes, but I know everybody's not football savvy. People just like going to games and experience and watch your team wins. But as a team in its entirety, it was very frustrating to not see the things we could do, and we kind of limit ourselves and played in a Dick LeBeau's way we thought we were, lining up. He was putting 9 men in the box. Doug Martin, I'm giving it to you. You see this? You're averaging 5 yards a carry with 9 guys in the box. Offensive line was doing pretty good run blocking, but at some point you got to mix it up a little bit. At some point, some other receivers besides Austin Jenkins and Vincent Jackson has to get open. Lewis Murphy, you got to step up, man. We gave you extension, you got paid. It wasn't too long ago you was sitting in church with Deputy Harris when you got the phone call to come to the Bucs. And then you make a big play in Pittsburgh, and you made a couple plays because you're from here and people want to see you do well. You got to step up, man. You got to step up. We need you. We went through a rough year last year and getting blown out like home. I'm not hitting the panic button. I am upset. I don't get pissy. I don't boo my quarterback. I don't boo my team. And, for people who did that, they probably really aren't real fans. And I know the people that are saying, I paid to see Winston and this, that, then don't come out. If you think everything's over after that game, don't come out at all. Sell your tickets. Don't come out. I don't want you to waste your time. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Go root for somebody else. I don't care. Go root for the Titans. Go root for the Steelers. Go root for the Patriots. I really don't care. I say you come out and you really think the season's over after one game, then you weren't really a fan to begin with. You weren't really with this team to begin with. You were around for the ride because it sounds nice. Granted, Tampa has a lot of that because people from all over the place, but whatever. Like I said, it's tough being a guy that's actually at the games and listen to amateur fans holler and scream shit when you don't know a damn thing. Let me tell you something. You're talking about Lovie Smith is on the hot seat. Yeah, they won 2-14 last year. We're still cleaning up Shiano's screw-ups. Try not to curse. I said we're still trying to figure out how to screw up Shiano's screw-ups. I'm still tripping off the fact that we let Michael Bennett go, our leading sacker, when we have a problem with pass rush. What kind of shit is that? You let him leave when he's leading the team in sacks, and you want to pay him some mediocre pay to let Daquan Bowers develop that ain't developed in 3 years. But Michael Bennett was a guy that was undrafted, was casted out by Seattle Seahawks that we picked up, and he flourished out here in the system. and we cast him away like he's garbage. But yeah, he's got a Super Bowl and he's balling out in Seattle. He's actually unhappy in Seattle because he's not getting paid. A lot of them are, but you can't pay everybody. And we're trying to pick up veterans players and mix them with young players. Like we just signed what's that boy's name? Joe Haley from the Falcons, because Dirk Cutter's familiar with him. I hope he plays well, because I don't think Evan Dietrich Smith, better days was behind him. I hope he steps it up. Logan Mankins stepped it up. I saw a lot of good things from the offensive line, even from the rookies. I didn't see Donovan Smith get beat up too much. I got to watch the tape again. But you can't get beat like that. It was, you could say Jameis Winston when he threw that pass to Humphries. I swear I thought Humphries was gonna come back underneath the. It was a trips formation, and he flared out. And the radio broadcast I was listening to, you were right. He was Sensenbach was sitting under it the entire time. He read it. He was looking at Winston. Winston fed it to him. All he had to do was put on a bib, because he was eating his way to the end zone. Ironically, Winston's first pass was a touchdown, but it was a defensive touchdown. But just got to use players to help better ourselves. Like Humphries could be a reliable run out and spread, let the little guy get open, get underneath passes, break a tackle, fall forward for an extra 3 yards. Like I said, I could beat that till the cows come home, to just use players to help us out, put people in positions to be successful. I know Lovie Smith does not call plays anymore, so I don't even mention his name on that. He owns the defense because he relieved Leslie Frazier of defensive play calls, but now you got to eat that. You got to eat that 42 points. You know what? I'm going to make a dedication to this team. They made, every time we give up points, should I do miles or should I do minutes? Because I need to work out. I need to lose weight. So let me make a dedication to this team. And I hope you watch this. I hope somebody takes it. I'm going to make a dedication to this team. 42 points. It's at 21. I will do half of what the score is. I'll do this week, because we just made this up. I'll do 21 extra minutes doing cardio for whatever we score, whatever we let get scored on us on defense. So 42, I'll run 21 minutes extra than what I already do. I try to run at least 2 miles a day. I will run 21 extra minutes because we gave up 42 points. And the reason I say that, because when I used to play ball, that's what we did. We had to run however many sprints we gave up the score. You know, I still might run sprints. I might go down to the little middle school and run on the field, and I'll run 21 sprints. I'll either do 21 minutes on the treadmill, or I'll do 21 sprints. I need to do it. I'm fat. I need to lose some weight. So you know what, Lovie Smith, you calling the D, please don't give up too many points, because I don't want to do no extra running. I probably need to, but I don't want to do no extra running. That's a dedication I'm going to do this year. I'm going to run 21 extra minutes or 21 sprints because we gave up 42 points. And 7 was because of offense. Alright, now let me move on after I made my little dedication. And that wasn't even part of the plan. You know, I just made that up. I'm going to do that for my dedication this year for the team. I'm 271 now, so no matter how many points, I'll tell you later how much weight I lost, or how, depending on how many points I get given up. I'm 271. Mark that. We talked about Joe Haley. Oh, but did I say like Winston's mobility because of the line? Yeah, we talked about that. Wideouts. I don't know how much Mike Evans really played an effect, because we didn't really throw any fades or anything to Vincent Jackson or nothing like that. But maybe Mike Evans would have helped everybody else. Like I said, Lou Murphy got paid to, step up in somebody's absence. You got to step up. It's just disappointing to not see him step up. And they didn't even have their number one corner on their team. So, I mean, like, what was you doing? Just running routes, or was you not targeted? Was that coaching? Or I don't know whose responsibility was it. It was just unacceptable. on top of, Jameis scrambling every play. Literally, like all the plays he had to throw, he had to shake some block, some guy coming through to get a pass off. You just can't do that. We talked about Evans out, Joe Haley. Oh, what do you think about the Bills? It didn't come surprising to me that the Bills look good. Rex Ryan's a good coach. You gave him a decent defense that he made better. I'm gonna say, Tyrod Taylor's looking good right now. Granted, it's just one game. People want to crown Mariota king already. If you want to crown him, I'm not gonna argue with you, Guerrero. You said Mariota's better of the two. I don't know. It wasn't a good game for Winston, I'll admit. It was a good game for Mariota. Good job by Winston Hunt. Good job by the Titans D. Bad job by us. Do you just want to blame Winston for it? You can. You fake fans will. You can blame him. Mariota scored. How come Winston couldn't? Did you not watch the game? There's a lot of reasons why Mariota was scoring and we weren't. Their team looked in sync. We didn't. And not even that. Our defense couldn't stop anybody. But D was looking like Swiss cheese, holes everywhere. Like I said, I can ramble on. It's just really, frustrating that I know things that they can do, but you don't choose to do it because I guess you want to go with a game plan. Just do what you got to do to win. That's within the rules. Try things out. Take risks. Like I said, I ain't talking about crazy nonsense. Take risks. Think outside the box. Play like we're used to it. Because if you're talking about firing Lovie Smith, when you're talking about switching quarterbacks, the shit don't work. Swapping out head coaches and swapping out quarterbacks every year. This shit don't work. I don't want to be the Oakland Raiders. I don't want to be the Washington Redskins. I don't want to be those damn teams that keep changing coaches every year, changing quarterbacks every 2 years. The shit don't work. You don't believe me? Go look at the successful teams in this league. They got established head coaches and they got established quarterbacks and they win games, or they're competing and not making playoffs because of other elements. They're competing. They're not getting blown out 42-14 at home. I don't hardly get riled up about this shit, but the shit don't work. Changing head coaches every year. Lovie Smith, yes, I agree with y'all. You got to get shit together. You got to have the people believing. You got to have us fans believing that you're getting this team going in the right direction. You got to believe that this team is going to get better each game. If we seeing that, they won't bitch as much. At least the real fans won't. I could give a rat's ass about the people who are fake fans or around for the rodeo show. I don't give a fuck about them. I give a damn about the guys that are sitting in front of me, the guys that are sitting behind me that have been here since the Sombrero Stadium, that want to see things move in a positive direction, because that's what happened in the 2000 to 2002 era when we started building a legacy there. Well, I ain't going to call it legacy, but we built a decent team that competed and we won a Super Bowl. You can call it what you want to call it, that the Oakland didn't change the playbook, whatever. That's their fault. If you're that damn dumb not to change your plays and you got players that went MIA for the Super Bowl, what's that offensive lineman cat that didn't even show up for the Super Bowl, whatever. You can call that whatever you want to call it. That's their fault you didn't change the play. Just like it was our fault that we came out with a weak-ass game plan, with a weak-ass defensive scheme, and got our ass kicked by a rookie quarterback. He could have threw for motherfucking 6 touchdowns that game if they want to, but they took him out and put Zach Mettenberger in there. And they just let him hand off. And I like Zach Mettenberger. I thought he should have been the starter. But what I saw after week 1, hell no. Mariota didn't even need his legs. He beat our ass with his arm. And again, you got to cover receivers long enough for the pass rush to get there. D-line, you get a pass this week. I don't care what everybody else says. If you watch the game, the pass rush didn't make a difference because he was getting the ball out of his hands so goddamn fast. He was getting hat burned from the ball whistling by their head. And the plays that he did hold the ball, it was a sack. Good job, Jacquez Smith, hitting his arm and letting Gerald McCoy come in there and getting the sack. You should get half a sack for that play because you made that play. You made the play, but you didn't make the tackle. Gerald McCoy got the tackle, but you made the play. If that makes sense. It makes sense to people who know football. You don't have to make the tackle to make the play. Team sport. That's what this is about. Team sport. Not just about Winston. If you thought he was just going to come in here and Tom Brady this shit, then you were seriously watching the wrong broadcast. Because I didn't believe that shit. But I didn't believe to get blown out 42-14 either. Getting all hype. You know what I mean? I'm normally a mellow dude, but this shit, it's got to stop. Seize today. Seize the motherfucking scoreboard. Seize the fans to get off their ass and root for their team instead of sitting there embarrassed watching other teams, fans from other teams coming here and enjoying the win when I'm sitting here at home in my house that I pay for and watching them jump up and down and cheering their chants and making up shit and talking shit. They have every right to. I ain't mad at them because I can't do shit about it because my team's getting their ass kicked. I'll see y'all Wednesday, man. I gotta get out of here. I'm getting too pissed off. Remember, seize the day. You the master of everything you do. Just like the Buccaneers. Be the master. Make changes. I'm out.